sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in at mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 6. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball at every snap. Another nice job there forcing the completion.
Back to throw again. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room.
60 Maverick! 60 Maverick!
But first down, Hurts. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
60 Bobcats! Buffalo 18! 18, Pioneer! Ready?
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Come on. Dragon 60. Mustang 19. Hey, Brad. 19 Lions. On the goal, now.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right.
Drop 50, drop 50.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Quez Watkins as the first half is winding down. And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Looking for Ross again. He finds him again. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Here we go. Set. Snap. Ready.
Back to throw. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Ready!
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Okay, right?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. Well, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, you pointed out to me at half, seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hey, what's you?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A quick throw here out wide to Pitts. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
So after the conversion on fourth, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Falcons are an extra point away from evening this one up. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Okay, ready?
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Hurts. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And now after coughing up the football, serious concerns on that sideline. Their defense surrenders the tying touchdown to start the third quarter, and now the offense follows that up by committing the turnover.
And I think you're sensing the exact same thing that I'm sensing, that the energy, much different here in the second half. We talk about it a lot, but you can feel it kind of rippling through the stadium, and it's affecting the players.
Three quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And Mariota going to run on the option.
He gives it up.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sand. Now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Certainly some pressure here on Younghoe Koo.
This to break our 4th quarter tie.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Here we go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers, 18 Rattlers, 18 Rattlers.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Warriors, 70.
Now on 2nd and 13.
Hurts. Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown complete.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Buffalo 18.
They'll run with Robinson.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Again, it'll be Robinson.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 2nd and 3. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his home. Totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So possession in overtime first goes to the Atlanta Falcons, and we are back underway. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They picked up a first down and a whole lot more. Forget about just looking for the sticks. They went well beyond the stick.
I know they were talking about guarding the sticks on defense. They didn't guard them very well. They got a big-time completion on a 3rd down. That's almost a backbreaker, isn't it? In overtime, every play's importance is magnified. And that one could turn out to be huge.
A quick throw caught by Cup out wide. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Down.
From the gun, he'll try to run it. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Robinson up the middle. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. On 2nd down and 4. Hurts. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on a flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
19 right.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this is not going to do it. It's no good. An ambitious effort to try and force this game into sudden death, but it was not